Okay. All right, guys, go to work on her. Okay. Now you got that right. Sun is. What's her rising sign? Okay, and let me. Good. You came right back with that. That's meaning you're learning. She's a double Leo. She's a Leo sun and Leo ascendant. Let me tell you, remember that book I showed you from prison? That I collected all this information for years. It's not a book, it's just things I put together. It's kind of like I call it an anthology of essential works in astrology. It's on everything from metaphysics to astrology. There's one aphorisms written by Jerome Cardan. He lived in the 1500s. So that makes it 14th century? Or what, if you say 1500s, what do you say? If he lived 1530, 14th century. He wrote 100 aphorisms applying to astrology. One of them was about Leo ascending in a chart. He said Leo ascending in a chart alone makes the person master of more than norm and gives them a nobility and a princeliness that they'll walk through life with. The reason it is because it's the sign of the lion, it's the king, it's the will, it's the ruler. Remember Edgar Cayce said, what about the will? Will is ever the ruler. A person that has Leo rising and a Leo sun, particularly our son. She gets upset I say my son. I'm the only one, you have 5. I know, but anyway, our son, Leo, he's strong will, he's powerful will. And the will is the ruler. This gives you command over your own life, basically. And it's going to be always hard for a Leo to, quite truthfully, get along sometimes with others because your will's so strong. And somebody tries to will it over you, lord it over you, you will kick them out, you know. You just can't handle that, even though you love them maybe. Because Leos also have a hard time because they're loyal. Okay, and that loyalty means, you know, I'm not letting go, I'm going to make this work. You know, come hell or high water, I'm going to make it work. This is a powerful chart with a double Leo indicator here. Okay, she also has Mercury in Leo. So, but the bottom line is, you look at that and then you say, what is it doing to that chart? What's it afflicting? What is it squaring? What is it doing? Is it doing anything at all? If you look at it, I see one square right off. What do you see? Good, Neptune. Okay, so anybody want to take that one on? Take that on? Huh? Sun square Neptune. Did the father drink? No. No. No, that's not what it was. The sun Neptune, to me, means that one can delude themselves, illusions, Neptune, in their heart and their love. Okay, why? Huh? No, Mercury's here. Mercury sun. But it's in the house of love, romance, 5th house. She's got to be really cautious and careful about people that she gets attracted to. Okay, why? Because the sun and 5th house are all Leo stuff, romance, you know? And so this is illusions, deception. Okay? Now, the other danger to her from that is it's in the Scorpio and the 5th, and that means that her resources can be drained from her through that kind of interactions. In other words, if a person that you join with in a romantic involvement that becomes even worse, marriage, okay? I mean worse in the sense that here I was at your wedding. I didn't mean it. For you that don't know, Elaine and I photographed her wedding. You had a beautiful wedding. God, it was gorgeous. It was an amazing event. People flew from France everywhere. It was wonderful. I hate to think of what that cost. So.
Did you have his torch?
No, she didn't know I was an astrologer. No, I came to her as a photographer, not as an astrologer. So anyway, but the bottom line is Neptune is deception, okay? And you've got to be really careful about those that you entangle yourself with in romantic ways, because Neptune can be very deceptive, okay? And Scorpio is Scorpio rules very good secrets. Who said that? Good, yeah. So there's, fidelity is important to you, and yeah, of course it is, and it's a highest of all your priorities. So this can be a challenge in your life if you have someone that's not being that way. The other side of this is, not for me to read this. Please read the chart. You're getting me into this again. Come on. I can read the chart. I want you to read it.
Big oppositions, yeah.
Is that Moon Saturn conjunct opposition Uranus, Pluto, and Venus, I think. Is that, yeah.
Moon is squaring off to what?
Well, the opposition,
Yeah, the
Moon Saturn opposition, the
Yeah.
cluster
Oh,
there.
yeah. The moon opposes
Actually, yeah, square
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Oh, now you're seeing it.
T-square.
What do you got? What is it called?
T-square.
T-square. Why is it T-square? Because it's a T, right? T-square. A grand square would have another planet over here, wouldn't it? All of them would be together.
Something you didn't handle well. You didn't know he was doing.
Until, right, you did.
I didn't realize how bad he was handling it, handling it.
Okay.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't want to get too close to the bone here. Here I am using bones. You don't want to get too close, but let me just say this to you. Remember I said, in fact, she had a little dispute with me because I was saying that Jupiter-Saturn affliction is a manic-depressive aspect. She says, I'm not manic-depressive, Ron. And I said, well, it's a tendency to have extreme emotional sways, okay? Only because Jupiter-Saturn are in square to each other. Do you remember I told you I did Thoreau's chart when I read what he wrote? Do you remember what he wrote? Most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And I was quoting that to describe the state of a Jupiter-Saturn affliction, kind of a manic depressive. Things are up and down, they're never quite stable, and there's always this desperation with that aspect. I wrote that, and then I decided to look up Thoreau's birthday. I did it, and I've got it here. Perfect square between Jupiter and Saturn. What is the odds? What are the odds? Think about it. So this is why I love astrology. It's like something in your spirit says there's something here. This guy had some real inner conflicts. He was writing about himself, about most men live lives of quiet desperation. So he had an exact square between Jupiter and Uranus. This can happen with that aspect, okay? It's not necessarily manic depressive in a clinical state. It's just that the extraordinary ups and downs of their life cause them to constantly be struggling. Okay. Okay, so now, anything else? Anybody want to do more with this chart? First of all, Leo ascending is the queen. She carries herself that way. She really does. I know, ever since I've known her, she's got a queenliness about her, kind of a nobility. And people that have Leo ascending have that. They walk with a little more pride. They hold their head up. They have that. Very often, the hair is very maney-like. You know what I mean? It's much more kind of lion-like. That you can do that. I know when you do your hair up. But the bottom line is, there's this quality about Leo, which is noble, and it's kind of queenly or kingly. So anyway, you guys read the chart. Don't let me read it. Okay, anybody? Mars is in where? What's it doing? Good, good, good. That's what I wanted you to see. Okay. What do you think that means? Huh? Loud. Let me hear you. Speak up. What's Mars trine Jupiter?
Lots of energy.
Very much so. A lot of energy. It's also good fortune in some respects. Okay? Yes, honey.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh?
Fortune with money and stuff that they got. No, not today.
Oh, I'm sorry, you would
Chantel.
love a beautiful home.
I had. I don't have any yet.
Very good. Now tell them why you said that.
Barbara?
Which is almost
Okay,
like a
because she
material.
has Mars, which is in the fourth house, which rules home. It's the physical energy she's exerting into her home, and it's the sign of Libra. Libras have to have pretty, so it's, plus it's trining Jupiter. So a big, beautiful house is what you should have in your life.
And that's,
Either you did, or you're gonna have another, or whatever it is.
and that's reading well,
Look
that's
at the
the
Sun
way.
Mercury in the
Now-
sextile.
Yeah, let me say, Barb, that's how you read a chart. That's what I'm looking for, how she brought it all together. She brought it all three together. A house, she brought the planet, she brought the sign, all three.
It gave you a nice message, didn't it? Now that's how you read charts, okay? Now Barb's been doing this for a while, and I expect her to be there, but you all start thinking three, house, sign, planet, okay? You got it? Anybody else want to say anything about this chart? They want to see anything in here?
Got the Sun Mercury contributing to that too, in the second house, the money.
The big house will certainly be there also.
And she's destined to have
Yeah.
means and,
Money, yeah.
right. You know, that's definitely there.
Yeah.
There's so many things in this chart. I mean, she's got a very powerful chart.
Un château sur la Loire.
Huh?
Au moins ça.
What did I miss?
A beautiful chateau on the river La Loire.
Elena will have it all figured out for you here, in the right language. Yeah, okay.
Keep that in mind,
Also,
that picture in mind.
you can also see, whenever you see Saturn with the moon like this, joined together, the father is very important in this life. Very emotionally and security conscious for you. Okay? Saturn is the father. Really? Never? That blows me out. I don't, usually I see that, unless all these oppositions might be. Venus opposing it maybe is why I missed that. Okay.
Could it be with her kids, her father, your children, your kids? So it could be your husband potentially your kids or your children's father? My children's father is wonderful.
I guess that's what it is. Wonderful father.
Yeah, that could be, you know, that's very good because it's the father or the husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
But the
that
bottom,
would explain it.
the other thing is that there's another thing.
When I was doing the father, Saturn and this Venus are opposed. And Venus is affection, and they're opposed, they're opposition. So the opposition means that there's denial of affection from a Saturn, from the father too. That fits more, that's what I, yeah, yeah.
So the father is very nurturing. The father of my children, yes, very nurturing because I noticed the moon beside Saturn. That's why I said that. The father of my children is a wonderful father.
So, okay. All right, here's the only other thing I'll say to you this. I don't want to keep going on this, but the bottom line is we can do this, I can do it this quick. Watch this, I'm going to show you something. This is why I want you to get these programs. You're going to go up here and you're going to go to display. You're going to go to transit first, find out where Saturn is. Saturn's sitting down here at 28 Scorpio. Right? Right now, right this moment. It's right this second. So it's 28 Scorpio. So you look at that chart, you say, what is it doing to that chart? Now, right now, it's 28, so if your sun is at 21 Leo, that means about 6 months ago you were going through hell. You know why I know that? Because 6 months ago Saturn was sitting square in your sun. Saturn is hell, right? Rules hell, okay? So I know that 6 months ago you went through hell. The reason I know that is, and see, that's why I can look forward and go backwards, because I see the timekeeper is Saturn. He's clicking off this chart. He's left that aspect now, so now you're free of that. It's going to go into, it's leaving here and it's going to go into Sagittarius. So, you know, you're going to get a real good trine to your ascendant. Actually, it's already happening. A trine to that ascendant at 0 degrees Leo, which is going to bring a new opportunity, a new life. The first house represents you getting out there again. It's kind of like stopping, holding back from living. You know what I'm saying?
Circle of hell that I was in it.
Exactly.
I'm off of it.
Yeah.
I'm out of it.
You're out of it. And it's time to move on with your life and step forward and be who I am, not who I was with him. You see what I'm getting at? So that is all happening right now. The Saturn's now getting this good energy coming over to your ascendant. Everybody see that? Can you all understand this, what I'm talking about? So that we just did that. Now the next thing I want to do is, let's say you had this program. So we just displayed the transit by wheel right there. You see that in blue? Then I'm going to come down to the progress by wheel. I want to see what's happening with the progress moon. Her progress moon in her chart is at Capricorn 16, right? So we look at the chart and we see what is it aspecting in that chart. 16. It's making a really exactly. Look at and not only that, look at what else it's doing.
Well, that whole opposition is being
Wait,
produced.
it's 16 Capricorn, right?
Yeah, it's
Progress moon.
Yeah, trying
Trine her Saturn.
Venus.
I mean sextiles.
Yeah.
Favorable aspect to Saturn, right?
Yeah, sextile those planets and trying the other in opposition.
All these are getting a positive trine. Third house. That's Uranus, Pluto, and Venus are all getting good aspects from that. The progress moon, and that took 28 years to reach that point. It's done it twice, more than once in your life. It's gone around that chart. And that's trine your third house, okay? So that's the house of travel, communication. It represents, who said?
How much orb would you give a progressed moon?
2 degrees applying, 1 to separating. But this is, look at it, 16, and her Pluto's at 15. So it's just left the perfect trine to that. It's moving up to, it just went through a sextile to Saturn. It's still within orb, 1 degree is separating, right? It's 16 and this is 15. So it's getting all good aspects. You're really coming into a good period. So all this Saturn afflictions are over. Your promise I see travel for you though. Are you planning on anything? You got so much on your books right here to take care of, but I don't know how you can do that. But there may be some opportunities to come up with this because Venus is coming up on it's going to hit trine to Venus eventually, and that's a pleasurable good time. It's usually romance and love as well, and that's coming up in another. Well, if it's 16 to 23 is how many degrees? 4 and 3 is what, 7? So if it's 2 degrees applying and it's moving a degree a month, 2 degrees applying, when will it reach 21 degrees of Virgo? How many months? Huh?
Did you say it's 7 months in there?
Yeah,
5 months.
5 months, right?
Something new.
So 5 months to 7, it'll be applying 2 degrees to it, and then it separates. It's still affecting it for a month after that. So 5 to 8 months is a very good lucrative period for you. It can be material because it's Venus. It can be anything to do with beauty, jewelry, anything to do with fine art, anything to do with those things will prosper you. You should be working towards that goal to amplify the opportunities of Venus so that you're sitting there in another few months, you're sitting there with everything in place and ready to carry you further. Because it could be very, very good monetarily for you too. And could be a union, a partnership come out of that. It can be both romantic because it's Venus. It doesn't have to be all romance and love. It can be a good union. Somebody comes in and wants to help you with your business, want to be a partner with you or to join up with you. Okay, so keep your ear to the ground for that kind of stuff because you know it's good energy. All right, so this is how we read charts. Okay, this is the looking ahead a little bit, and we can go backwards.
So what you do, you just go back in and shake the moon vibration or something?
Yeah, we checked the progressed moon's position, and we went back and we looked at Saturn. We knew 6 months ago it was sitting right on that square to her sun.
Okay.
That means her life, the sun, was catching hell from Saturn, right? So, and it was. She went through the hell of hells. And that is past now. So what's the hope in a chart? What's the future? You say to me, how do you read a chart, and what do you do with a chart to make somebody that's already going through hell? How do you lift them above this? You take them, you look ahead for them. You show them what potential. You show them the possibilities.
So this is like 5 to 6 months
Ahead.
right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was able to do that just that quick with those, and I didn't even do new moons. If I put new moons in here, I could get even more corroboration, especially if I know about where they're hitting. We know that the new moon's hitting about 14 degrees, right? Well, I happen to know as an astrologer that every month it's going to be dropping back maybe 1 degree. So if it's 14 this month, it's going to be roughly 13 the next. Sometimes it stays about the same degree, but it's usually. So, you know, I figure in 6 months it's going to be sitting back there around 9 degrees of a sign. And if I look at her chart and I say, how many things does she have at, let's say, 10 degrees in her chart? And I look around that chart. Well, right now, the most active area of her chart is where the new moons are right now. It's at 14, 15. Almost all her planets are falling in those degrees. Neptune's only 17. So we see most of her activity in this life, this period of this year, is going to be hitting by those new moons as well, which will amplify the good when it hits good aspects. And it won't cause too much negative energy because the other planets aren't doing it. If the others were all negative and the new moons were hitting at 13 or 10 or 12 degrees, and you add them to the crux, then you got some rough time ahead. She can't get that because her Saturn's already passed over all this.
Okay.
Am I making sense to you?
Yeah. So it's not a new beginning.
New moons are about 2. Yeah, but I'm not stuck on 2. I mean, I say 2 applying, 1 separating, but, I have to look at the whole chart. If I see, for example, if it's coming up on a planet and the planet's 4 degrees away, and then there's other planets that are aspecting that new moon's position, it's probably triggering it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You just have to use good judgment. There's no always and always type of things in astrology. I hate to tell you that. I wish I could say this is the rule, and some astrologers are that way, But and these programs are written, by the way. Most of these programs are written to draw 2-degree aspects, and they're not actually all that accurate always, because obviously an opposition can be a lot more than 2 degrees. It could be 8 degrees apart. But your computers are going to pick 2 degrees and then write it down as an opposition. That's why you're necessary as an astrologer, because these programs can only give you so much. It takes wisdom and knowledge and understanding. You guys have been great. You know what? We've been here for how many hours? 4:30? And not one person left today? And I got something for y'all. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Julie. Congratulations. Okay. Jalila. Okay. Ramona. Get a nice frame. It's worth it. Karen. Okay.
I think I'll take 3 more classes before it came in.
We'll get you. We're gonna. You know what? We're gonna keep at this. Barbara.
2 more classes.
Okay. Okay. Chantel. And Pat. Okay. And you have one, don't you, from before? I should.
What app can I download to get some? I got something similar to that. She had gave me one, which is astro.com. But can you do the same thing with you saying, change aspect?
No.
No.